your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prum Prum, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK.
The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Starr Radio UK Friday edition of the morning show, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Yes, so from now till exactly 1 o'clock, hopefully, if we get fingers and everything crossed, making sure that hopefully we get our money man on board today. We will be bringing a program to a close at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, but hopefully. But let me say good morning to each and every one of you, to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Massive good morning to you. Good morning to Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, who will be joining us, as I did say earlier on at 12:30. Massive good morning to you, Mr. Olaimi Koike, Mr. Frank Davis, to KB Bossman, Vicky Newton, and to all of you in Ghana who are in service or in the final funeral service for the late former First Lady Nana Kunedu Ajima Rollins, with event that is taking place at the moment as we speak now in the capital Accra at the Black Star Square. Okay, let me say good morning also to Atakofi Nianana Joe. Massive good morning to you. A special good morning also to Delta Hammond, to Mrs. Vida Hammond, ma'am. A massive good morning to you all. Hope you are all doing very, very, very well. Yes. Niana Atakofi, massive good morning to you, and to all inhabitants of Ashaman. I salute you there. It's been a while, but I hope you are doing very well. And let me take this opportunity to also say good morning to Bishop Adeshina, Anthony Nedeji, Shamsuddin, Chief Dr. Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, Professor Banji Akintoye. Massive good morning to you all there as well. Those of you watching us live on the Koiki Media platforms and Yoruba Nations platforms and the United States of Biafra platforms, we salute you there as well. Let me say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Seth Chidi, man of God. Thank you very much. He's been there for us, standing by us in through thick and thin, and we're so appreciative for what you do for us. Massive good morning to you, to Reverend Michael Esiama, Captain Tete. Massive good morning to you all there, all the way in Cape Town, South Africa. Massive good morning to you. Amen. Hope you are doing very, very well. And to Antonio and the family there, we salute each and every one of you. It's a special day for one of my own. Yes, Pastor Salome Ado, Pastor Mrs. Salome Ado in Milton Keynes. It's your birthday today, and I salute you, lady. May God continue to grace you with more grace and more to do the work that you are doing as well. And once again, let me say good morning to my bishop himself, Pastor Joseph Ado, who is the husband of Pastor Mrs. Salome Ado in Milton Keynes Bible Life Family Ministries and the family there. I salute each and every one of you. To my apostle himself, Brother HB, massive good morning to you all there. Now, all protocol observed wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in, and do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. For our listeners in the US, I hope that you all had a very good Thanksgiving day, but wherever you are listening to us from as well, I want to say this: be grateful for the other things that you have. This morning I've been watching the funeral of the late First Lady of Ghana, Nana Kunedu, the longest Ajman Rollins, who is laid instead at the moment, and the ceremony, the final funeral rite is going on there. And I'm looking at somebody who was that energetic, running around, doing all that stuff. It gets to a point that you can't do anything and you lie there. So once we have life, maybe you've not gotten everything that you really want, but be grateful to God, because some way, somehow, you are better off than the one who is just lying there. Instead, can't move unless somebody move them and do all that stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK, it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then, let's move on to the program outline for today. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. That is known as Global Trotting. Then after which we continue at 11:45, the line is activated that you can add your voice to the discussions there. And then at hopefully by 12:30, we'll be bringing you a Money Man all the way in Kent, bringing you the Money Hour. And I bet you today, if it's on or when it comes on, we'll be looking at the budget statement that was presented by the Chancellor of the Exchequer last Wednesday, and we'll be bringing you the bits that you think is affecting you and whatever others that you think you will want lights shed on. Feel free and get in touch, send it to us, and we will be able to put it across. This is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Now moving on. So the quote for the day says what? It is easy to spend the most time on things that matter least. Make time for the most important things in life. And what is that? People. What impact are you making when people come across you in a day? Do they go home rejoicing that they've met somebody or somebody has impacted them positively, or they go wailing and wishing that the next bus ran them over? What do you think? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's move on to the weather front. What has the weather got in store for us? It's a bit milder. Yes, so this morning I came in not putting on my big jacket and my scarf and stuff. So it's like, okay. But let me tell you what is happening today for London and southeastern part of England. Today will be dry and windy with plenty of sunny spells for the most part. Now, cloud and few isolated showers are likely to drift in from the west during the late afternoon and evening. Tonight will become drier and clearer as any daytime showers ease. Now during the early hours, thick cloud will build back in from the southwest, bringing outbreaks of rain by dawn. It's going to be winds will be easing by then. The temperature is going to be 13 degrees. The lowest is going to be 9 degrees. UV level is going to be low. Pollution is going to be low. Sunset 15:57 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:39 hours. But let me tell you what is happening over the weekend. For the weekend weather, tomorrow will be overcast with outbreaks of heavy rain for a time, but these will ease through the late afternoon. Winds strengthening in the evening, less mild. And then come Sunday morning, it will be dry with increasing amounts of sunshine. A chillier day though. Okay, so when it comes to the temperatures pertaining from tomorrow and Sunday, well, tomorrow's top will be 11 degrees, the lowest is going to be 4 degrees, and then Sunday a bit chillier, tops 7 degrees and the lowest 3 degrees is going to be sunny, but cool, chilly. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio. Okay, let me take this opportunity to also say good morning to my brother Felix all the way in Aberdeen. Felix, hope you are doing very well. It's been a while, but I hope you are doing good. All right then, now let's move on to the travel update exactly at 11:11. And what have you got, or what have I got for you? As we say this, keep your eyes on the roads, as keep it navigated, I promise our bond. And what have I got there? Well, the Bakerloo line is experiencing minor delays on the entire line. Let me bring you the details of it. Yes, minor delays due to signal at Charing Cross. So please check it out. Also, the second line is experiencing minor delays clockwise only while they fix a faulty signal at Tower Hill. Good service on the rest of the line though. And then the district line, minor delays between Tennant Green and Richmond due to an earlier fire alert, and between Earls Court and Towers Hill while they fix a point failure at Tower Hill. Good service on the rest of the line. Okay, now let's move on to the major roads in London. Let me tell you what is happening on the major roads in London as you keep your eyes on the roads, as we help you navigate your way through the day. So on the major roads in London, apart from the South Circular A205 that is experiencing several delays due to Western Avenue northbound at the junction of A2 Rochester Way, Relief Road broken down. Broken down HGV blocking the northbound carriageway, and that is causing serious delays. If you can avoid that, do your best to do so. Other than that, all the other roads have no exceptional delays. Moving on to the river bars this morning, the Woolwich Ferry is experiencing reduced service. The ferry service is operating a one-boat service due to a fault with one of its vessel. Now moving on to the London cable car, I can tell you shortly, good service there, bringing us to the final segment of the travel update. As we say, keep your eyes on the roads, and that is the National Rail. And what have I got for you there? Avanti West Coast Cross Country, Great Western Railway are all offering special services. Also, Northern Rail, ScotRail, Southwestern Railway, and Southern also special service. That aside, all the others are running a good service, and that is where I will say it once again as I normally would. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes where? On the roads. Let's take a commercial break. We come back and we continue with the show. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK and the Friday edition of the morning show with your one and only
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it.
Okay, it is time now for us to go global trotting to tell you what is happening from across the globe, here, over the pond, and other areas. Well, in a UK front, parents threatened and blamed by authorities as 1,000 adopted children returned to care. Families seeking help for their children's complex needs described threats of police action against them. We'll be looking at that. And then there are issues where people have been talking about where those who need special education needs. And the other question that some people were asking is that, are people actually, the kids or those who are being taken to that school or special education and giving them all that, are they actually benefiting from it or what? Because at times they say, oh, they've told them, they've done that. But actually, have they absorbed anything? And what are they giving out from that or getting out of that? Is it just taking somebody to, then why don't we take them to the centers and then let them just sit and while away the time? What about that? But that is what some others are thinking. We'll come to that in a moment. Now, women traumatized by breast cancer treatment at NHS Trust. Why? A minister defends pragmatic U-turn on workers' right. Well, and in another story, a former Brexit Party MEP denies taking payment from pro-Russian campaign. Why? Because Russia didn't want the UK to be there. They wanted that to exit. So that is what So I will tell you more about that. From there, campaigners trying to say home of Auld Lang Syne. Auld Lang Syne. Auld Lang Syne. Yes. Today I have to get that Auld Lang Syne. All right. Now let's move on to other parts of the world as well. And yes. Well, Trump says U.S. will pause migration from third world countries. Why? Because a National Guard member died out of their wounds after the shooting in Washington, D.C. Sarah Beckstrom, 20, succumbed to her injuries, while a second guardsman remained in critical condition, Donald Trump has said. And then National Guard shooting, suspect worked with CIA in Afghanistan. Wow. Okay. Now, Quebec has expanded secularism law and limits public prayer. Okay. And Canada's new Alberta oil pipeline deal already faces opposition. How? Why? When? We'll be telling you more about that as well. And in other stories, moving on from there, in the Latin American area, Bolsonaro has been ordered to start a 27-year prison sentence for Brazil coup plot. Well, he had a brace on his ankle monitor, but I don't know whether they were trying to cut it or whatever. And now he is supposed to go to jail to start a 27-year prison sentence. In other stories as well, Venezuela bans 6 major airlines after tensions with U.S. escalate. The affected carriers cease flying to Venezuela after the U.S. warned of heightened military activity. Well, it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In Europe as well, Ukraine anti-corruption agents search home of Zelensky's top advisor. Andriy Yermak has played a crucial role in Ukrainian response to Russia's war and has led negotiations in peace talks. So what is this there as well? And I said, Zelensky, oh boy, I think after the war, he needs a very long holiday. What a presidency. And France to intercept small boats after pressure from UK. How are they going to be doing that? They stand and they watch and the people run into the sea and then they let them off. But now they are going to strengthen it. Let's see what happens. And Putin doubles down on demands for Ukrainian territory ahead of talks with US in Moscow. Well, he's saying, well, you know what? We want the lands that we've taken. Why? So, if they use that as a template, or as an example, what is going to happen? If US decided to invade Venezuela and say, yeah, that's our territory, we've captured it, what happens? And can you then accuse Israel of taking the lands of the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip and say, we've taken it as well? What happens? Well, are we living in a jungle or there is law in the world? Then who will police it? That is the question. But lots more going to be coming your way from there. This is Starr Radio UK. Oh, well, France, in anticipation of what is going to happen, the threats that Russia seems to pose, France is to bring in form of military service 25 years after conscription was phased out. So we're going back to that. Do you think we need that here in the UK as well? In other parts of the world? Well, in Nigeria, where we have terrorist activities going on like no man's business, what do you think? In the Middle East, 10 killed in deadliest Israeli raid for months in southern Syria. The village of Beit Jin came under attack in what Israel said was an operation against a military group. What group is that? Well, in other stories, Israeli troops killed 2 Palestinians after they appear to surrender. They said they appear, so maybe we're not seeing very well, so maybe they didn't. Okay, another story, Palestinian U.S. teen freed after 9 months in Israeli jail. Would he be allowed back in the U.S. with the way Trump is doing things now? Okay. And moving on to Asia as well. Hong Kong fire death toll rises to 128 as officials say fire alarms not working properly. Officials are yet to determine the cause of the blaze that ripped through a high-rise residential complex on Wednesday. Well, it was devastating. Now, scores killed as fires sweep several Asian nations where fire is burning some people, flood is wiping some people off. So what do we think? A 90 dead in Indonesia floods. A cyclone displaces thousands in Sri Lanka. Those are some of the stories making the round. At least 56 dead as severe floods hit Sri Lanka. What have we done to ourselves? Is it we, us, or is it, well, world weather phenomenon? What do you think? Well, scared and desperate, South Africans say they were duped by Zuma's daughter to fight for Russia. South African allegedly recruited to fight for Russia recounts the horrors of war in Ukraine via voice notes. Is it true? Did she facilitate that? And the kidnapped gang, jihadis and separatists wreaking havoc in Nigeria. It's a documentary, and then we'll try to see whether I can bring that your way as well. And Guinea-Bissau president flees to Senegal after coup. How did he flee there? Did they just let him out? Well, we told you he was under house arrest. Did this have gone to wee and then just went through some tunnels there and they ended up in Senegal? Well, you want to know more, you got to stay tuned as we bring you more from that front. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's move on. Still on the African front, ECOWAS has expelled Guinea-Bissau after Army General seized power. The decision was reached at a virtual session of ECOWAS Mediation and Security Council, chaired by Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada. Well, they've done what they're supposed to do. What kind of law can you place sanctions on them? Will that change? Well, I don't know. I'll have to read more about Guinea-Bissau, their resources and what they can do, and then we can pick it up from there. But wherever you are, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. However, the general has been sworn in as interim leader of Guinea-Bissau after the coup. General Horta Inter said the military government will oversee a 1-year transition period. Whoa! Okay, we are here. We'll be watching very closely to tell you exactly what is happening. We'll wait for the next 6 months to see whether they're going to say, you know what? We think that there's a need of a change. We still have to hold on to power until we see a turn around. And then they will say, you know what? We're not going to be running for leadership there. And the next moment, they are running for it. Have we seen it? That template? Yes, we have. What is happening there? Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Gabon's military leader announces he will run for president. Didn't you hear this back in the day? And now we are hearing it again. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. Now moving on to Nigeria. Tinubu constitutes this side of the US-Nigeria Joint Working Group for what? Okay, let me tell you more about that. State of emergency declared in Nigeria as president. Just bear with me whilst I get that. State of emergency declared in Nigeria. President Tinubu orders massive reinforcement of army and police. Now, state police. What has been done about it? What is government thinking about it? Well, I remember back in the day we had a Amatekon, and then we have the East. Is it a ESC? It's in what in the southeast, and we have others who were doing or going about it, which is protecting their communities. Do you think that we have to now put more energy into that and see that happening? What do you think about all that? Is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. In Ghana, as I did say earlier on, the state funeral of the late Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings is taking place as we speak. Various tributes have been paid from various quarters and one from the children as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. In other stories, Methodist Church has rejected discrimination claims, says Wesley Girls has accepted all the recommendations there. We'll be telling you not the same fight. Why the Achimota and Wesley Girls cases tell two different stories. We'll be telling you more about that. Should our schools be a secular one? Though it's a religious school, so it's a church school. The way you say only churches should come. When I say churches, I mean Christians. Okay. And Ashanti business owners loud Bank of Ghana's policy rate cut are described as boost for Ghana's economy. And SHS students using government tablets to watch pornography. Wow. Education Minister has warned. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right then, it's all coming your way, and there have been Dr. Kuya Mwakwo, who has slammed the NDC bogus report defending Zipline Life Savings Drone Program. Is it ineffective? We're going to be looking at that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. We take a break, we come back, and we'll be bringing you the details of all the stories that we've looked at this morning. So stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Body is your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for who? For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And now let's go into the details of the stories that we are looking at the moment. In Ghana, we had the Church of Pentecost chairman and the various religious organizations coming to pay their respect. We have the the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, leading a prayer session there with them. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio, okay? And this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right, now let's move on. Okay? So, let's kick off with that. Now, Mary's breaking point with her adopted son, Liam, came after she had already been threatened with knives and arrested by police following untrue allegations. Her husband, Ian, recounts that she said at one point to a social worker, "What if we just can't do this anymore?" He says the social worker's reply came without a moment's hesitation. "You will be prosecuted for child abandonment." Now, Verity and Ian are just 2 of 50 parents who have been interviewed who have said that during a 6-month investigation into why adoptive families are being broken apart and their children returned to care, it has uncovered a hidden world where parents are subjected to lies and blame by authorities across the UK as they struggle with the needs of traumatized children who have often suffered abuse and neglect before they were removed from their birth families. Now, as parents speak of being threatened, harassed, and pushed into mental health crisis, while one adopted teenager who returned to care says that with more support, his family might still be together now. Investigation from the BBC said that a Freedom of Information request ever into adoptions that have broken down findings that more than 1,000 adopted children in the UK have returned to care in the past 5 years. That is much higher than the figure in recent government report, but the true number is likely to be even larger, as only a third of authorities said they collected this data as standard practice. Now, one couple told us the issue is a national scandal and that adoption as it stands is not fit for purpose. As part of the investigation, it goes on further to say, we've learned nearly a quarter of adoptive parents who speak to the BBC said they had been taken into police custody as a result of allegations of abuse by their children, which were later found to be untrue. A whistleblowing social worker revealed the culture of blame against parents when adoptions ran into problems and said they are sold a lie about post-adoption support. Now, new research by Lancaster University found that 38% of adoptive parents said they had considered returning a child to care. A Department for Education spokesperson said that adoptive parents do an incredible job providing a loving and supportive home to some of the most vulnerable children in society, and that while those arrangements sometimes break down, support is in place to help adoptive families and keep them together where possible. The department said it will offer families earlier The department said it will offer families earlier and better support through the children well-being and school bills, but neither the government nor the local government association with which parents, local authorities in England and Wales respond to question about parents being threatened and blamed. Verity and Ian from Yorkshire adopted their son Liam and daughter Lauren 15 years ago, and when Liam was 2.5 and his little sister was 1. As Liam grew, his behavior became volatile and increasingly violent, throwing things and screaming at his parents. They now know that before Liam was adopted, he had lived in a household where there was extensive domestic abuse. Before I came online on air, I was having a chat with one of our profound listeners, and then we were talking about children learning from examples, what goes on around them, they're picking up from there. So if you're a carer or you are an adoptive parent, and then you are facing this. What can be done? And should the authorities go blaming them for what? And at times when these kids, when they are, virtually doing everything, and then they are trying to accuse the parents, oh, I've been abused, I've been that. Which, some of the cases, there are cases where, yes, I'm not doubting that people have, but there are several cases where people have not actually perpetrated with that, but they've been arrested, some have been incarcerated, and later on you find out that, oh, actually the person didn't actually do what they are saying. And it's quite worrying. Because then, where would all these children go to? Where? Who will handle them? But they live in the care sector just like that, and then like you put you put a dog in a pen or something, and you go feed them, and you leave them to go. Even dogs are even now being controlled and stuff like that. So they are just there. You just feed them and just leave them to their lives, and they do whatever they want. And what will be the result for the society as a whole? Well, hope the authorities see to address that issue so that those who are in there helping children will do their best there. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, this is one of the most important stories that I'm going to be touching on, and this is targeted towards men. Now, the UK National Screening Committee is expected to advise against routine prostate cancer screening for the majority of men in the UK. The committee full ruling will come at 15 hours today. The advisory committee is expected to say screening all men, including those with a family history, using a prostate-specific antigen test could cause more harm than good. So what should be? A decision is also expected to be made not to introduce screening for black men. The NHS says prostate cancer is most common in men of the age of 50 or from a black, African or Caribbean background. The committee is, however, expected to say it is in favor of the screening men with BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes, which increase someone's chances of developing cancer if they mutate every 2 years from age 45 to 61. Now, charities including Prostate Cancer UK have been campaigning for the national screening for years. There is currently no such program in the UK. If you have been affected by prostate cancer, yes, please get in touch with the necessary authorities and they will help you out there. But full details of the UK National Screening Committee decision will come at 15 hours. But this is what we expect so far. The UK NSC will not recommend a screening program for all men. Secondly, they will not support a screening program in black men, even though they are twice the risk. And thirdly, no screening program for those who have prostate cancer running in their families. Then, last but not the least, only group that will be offered screening according to expected guidelines are men with specific mutation known as the BRCA. That increases the risk of more aggressive tumors. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So, to the men, that is it there for you. Well, let me balance it out. Let me balance it out. So somebody say, balance it out in what way? Well, breast cancer patients suffered unnecessary mastectomies, delayed diagnosis and lack of compassionate care at NHS Trust in North-East England. Now, more than 200 cases are now being investigated at County Durham and Darlington Foundation Trust. 43 of these are reported to involve significant harm. One death is also being examined. However, women have been told as they were left feeling butchered by surgery, while a leading expert say that what went on at the trials was a textbook example of how not to carry out breast cancer management. In addition, we discovered that nearly £6 million was paid out by the trust to clinics run privately by its main breast cancer surgeon. They mimicking what happens in some African countries. In Ghana, that's what happens. So the person is working in the government hospital and they've got their own private entities, and they channel the people there, go for private treatment, and then they can scoop in the money. Now, in total, medical records of nearly 1,600 patients treated since 2023 are now being examined following concerns about the service the trust offered. An independent review into the running of CDDFT carried out by the governance specialist Mary Aubrey has been published this week. Okay, so we're following it very, very closely to see its impact, what it means to those who have been affected by that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to be going to other parts of the world, but that will be after this short break. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Otta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:44. And let me announce the line open. You want to hop in? You want to share your take with us this morning? Yes, then just call us via Teams, and it is Starr Radio UK. Go to Teams, look for Starr Radio UK, and we'll be able to pick your calls.
Call the studio now. Call the studio now.
All right then, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then, so now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Kicking off from the U.S. Well, the National Guard member has died. Yes, one of the two members of the National Guard who were shot in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday has died. U.S. President Donald Trump has said Sarah Beckstrom, 20, succumbed to her injuries, while the second National Guard member, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, is fighting for his life, Trump said on Thursday evening. Now, both were shot at close range near the Farragut Square in downtown DC, just after 14 hours EST, 19 hours GMT on Wednesday. Police have arrested one suspect in the shooting, Ramanullah Lakanwal, a 29-year-old Afghanistan. Now, the attack has prompted a range of announcements from the Trump administration aimed at curbing migration from Afghanistan and a number of other countries. The two soldiers who were attacked had been deployed to the American capital as part of the Trump administration effort to crack down on what it sees as rampant crime in several U.S. cities. Now, Trump confirmed Ms. Beckton's death while on a Thanksgiving call with U.S. service members. Now, Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about highly respected, young, magnificent person. She had just passed away. She's no longer with us, he said. Now, Trump later spoke to her parents. A White House official said the U.S. president previously said the attack underlined a major national security threat. In the wake of the incident, officials said they will suspend processing all immigration requests from Afghanistan and re-examine green cards issued to individuals who migrated to the U.S. from 19 countries. Now, when asked which countries were on the list, the agency pointed to a June proclamation by the White House that included Afghanistan, Cuba, Haiti, Iran, Somalia, and Venezuela. I'll be telling you more about that. On Thursday, Trump went on to vow to permanently pause migration to the U.S. from all third world countries without providing details of his plan or naming which countries might be affected. So, what do you think? What do you think? I'm trying to see whether I can get a list of countries for you. Okay, I think yeah. They have determined to fully restrict and limit the entry of nationals of the following 12 countries. First, Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. This restriction distinguish between but apply to both the entry of immigrants and non-immigrants. I have determined to partially restrict and limit the entry of nationals from the following 7 countries as well: Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Trying to get all the other countries. I'm trying to get all the other countries. So when you hail from there, they're not will try and apply for any visa, because the chances of you getting Okay, so those are some of the countries. We have Sudan there as well, but we'll be working on it to see where and which ones have been added to it as well. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 11:49. Well, so still on there. The list of the countries have not been, but it's saying Trump strongly worded two-part post on Thursday night went further, pledging to end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens. The president also blamed refugees for causing the social dysfunction in America and vowed to remove anyone who is not a net asset to the U.S. The post, which Trump introduced as a happy Thanksgiving salutation, was filled with anti-immigrant language. He said the hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia were completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota, and to particular aim at the state Democratic lawmakers. I would permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover, the president wrote. The phrase third world is a term that was used in the past to describe poorer developing nations. The White House and USCIS have not yet given further details of Trump's plan. The president had already imposed a travel ban on nationals of Afghanistan and 11 other countries, primarily in Africa and Asia. Earlier this year, another travel ban targeting a number of majority Muslim countries was enacted during his first term. Well, so we'll be looking more into that. But information coming about the perpetrator of this ill. The flurry of announcement comes after officials said the suspect in Washington, D.C. shooting, Ramanullah Lakanawal, came to the U.S. in 2021. Mr. Lakanawal traveled under a program that offered special immigration protection to Afghans who had worked with the U.S. forces in the wake of American withdrawal from Afghanistan. At the time, the Taliban had taken control of Afghanistan, raising fears of retribution against those who had cooperated with the U.S. Mr. Lakanawal once worked alongside the CIA, the agency current director has said. Mr. Lakanawal applied for asylum in 2024 and his application was granted earlier this year. He was arrested after the attack and was said to be not cooperating with authorities. Now, Trump styled the attack as an act of terror. He said the following day that one of the two members of the National Guard who were allegedly shot had died. Nasser Breckton. She had volunteered to work in D.C. over the U.S. holiday Thanksgiving. Attorney General Pam Bondi said the second National Guard member, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, was said by Trump to be fighting for his life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. At 8 minutes to the top of the hour. The Canadian province of Quebec plans to impose restriction on public prayer and limit the exclusive offering of religion-based menus like kosher and halal meals in public institutions. Now, the latest efforts to strengthen state secularism, dubbed Secularism 2.0, are part of a new bill introduced by the governing coalition Avenir Quebec on Thursday, expanding 2019 religious symbol law that has fueled fierce debate throughout the country. The original law prevents judges, police officers, teachers, and public servants from wearing symbols such as kippah, turban, or hijab while at work. The Canada Supreme Court will hear a legal challenge of the law early next year. Jean-Francois Roberge, the minister responsible for secularism, said in the news conference in French on Thursday that the bill was part of an approach that respected individuals as well as collective rights. The measures proposed in Bill 9 will include extend the ban on wearing religious symbols to staff in subsidized daycares, bar collective religious practice like prayer in public spaces such as parks without a prior authorization from municipalities, prevent students and staff from wearing face coverings in daycare all the way through to post-secondary education. Now, Roberge said the limits on public prayer were in reaction to recent protests in the province where there have been debate over groups praying at pro-Palestinian demonstrations. It's shocking to see people blocking traffic, taking possession of the public space without a permit, without warning, and then turning our streets, our parks, our public squares into places of worship, he said. The decision to strengthen the law has already faced criticism from the opposition party Québécois, which earlier this week accused the CAQs of creating division in an attempt to bolster support ahead of next year's provincial election. The National Guard, Council of Canadian Muslims, also criticized the bill, accusing the CAQ of doubling down on identity politics and division in a desperate attempt to regain the public's trust. Well, so what do you think? What do you think about that? Now, do you think it's okay for you to just go into a public space and then just say, you're a church, and then we take control over that place, we cross the road, and we just sit there, let's start praying and doing church there. Permit has to be given for you to do that. Though there is freedom of association, religious freedom. Well, but what do you think? Do you think this is excessive? And again, when in a case where you look at the situation that happened here in Woking, is it Woking? Yeah, where a child was it last year was killed because the parents were beating her. And because they made her put on the turban or whatever they call it, and then virtually they don't see anything. But the teachers were of the view that no, we think something was happening. But you're only seeing the face of the person and saying that they are following religious thing. Had it been that thing wasn't there, they would have discovered what was going on and would have quickly acted on it. But what do you think about that? It's quite an interesting one, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK, 4 minutes to the top of the hour, the time, the morning show, the program. At this token division in the country. Okay. Now let's move on to let me touch on this one, and there we go. A Palestinian American teenager who spent 9 months in Israeli detention without charge has been freed. Mohammed Ibrahim was 15 when he was arrested in February in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, where he was visiting on holiday from Florida for allegedly throwing stones at Jewish settlers, which he previously denied. The U.S. State Department said it welcomed the news of Mohammed's release. BBC contacted the Israeli authorities but have not received a reply. Mohammed, now 16, was taken to hospital for treatment immediately after the release. Relatives told the media they said he is pale, underweight, and is suffering from conditions contracted in captivity. In a statement, Mohammed's uncle spoke of the family's immense relief. Ziyad Kader said the family have been living in horrific and endless nightmare over the last 9 months. Now, right now, we are focused on getting Mohammed the immediate medical attention he needs after being subjected to Israeli abuse and inhumane conditions for months. We just want Mohammed to be healthy and to have his childhood back, he said. Now, Israeli soldiers have no right to take Mohammed from us in the first place, he added. The State Department said it will continue to provide consular support to Mohammed's family. The Trump administration has no higher priority than the safety and security of U.S. citizens, it said. Earlier this week, Mohammed's father, Zahar Ibrahim, said he was frustrated that the U.S. government was not doing more to get his son out. Now, 27 U.S. lawmakers have signed a letter to the State Department and President Donald Trump demanding more be done to release him. Mr. Ibrahim, a father of 4 who runs an ice cream business in Florida, previously said his son only confessed to throwing stones because the soldiers beat him up. He had not seen or spoken to Mohammed since February and only heard what had happened to him in detention through court documents. Mohammed was held without charge in Offa prison in the West Bank. It is also home to adult prisoners, some of whom have been convicted of serious terrorism offenses and murder. There are around 350 Palestinian child security detainees being held in Israeli jails, according to the Israeli Prison Service. Many have never been charged, and human rights groups as well as the United Nations say some have suffered abuse and torture. Following Mohammed's release, Mr. Cardo said the family would also continue fighting for justice for his cousin, Seyfola Muzalet, a 20-year-old dual U.S. citizen who the Palestinian Health Ministry said was beaten to death by Israeli settlers during a confrontation in July. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and we'll move on to other parts of the world. This time around to Venezuela, but that'll be after this break. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program at exactly 2 minutes past the top of the hour. As I said earlier on, the line is open. You can call us via Teams. Yeah, just look for Starr Radio UK and call in and let your voice be heard.
Call the studio now.
All right then. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds this morning. Okay, as I did say earlier on, the funeral of the late Nana Konadu Ajiman Rollins is taking place at the Black Star Square in Accra, Ghana, and we'll be following proceedings from there. Okay, yes, we'll be telling you more about all that. But wherever you are, stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Okay, so now we move on to Brazil. The Brazil Supreme Court has ordered that the right-wing former president Jair Bolsonaro begin serving his prison sentence of 27 years and 3 months for plotting a coup after he lost the last election. Now, Justice Alexander de Moraes on Tuesday ruled that the case had reached its final judgment and that no further appeals were possible. Bolsonaro, 70, was found guilty of leading a conspiracy aimed at keeping him in power after he lost the 2022 election to his left-wing rival Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. He will begin serving his sentence in a federal police jail cell in the capital Brasilia, where he has been detained since Saturday after being deemed a flight risk and removed from home detention. At a hearing on Sunday, Bolsonaro admitted trying to open his ankle monitor with a soldering iron until he came to his senses, the court document has shown. He said he had no intention of fleeing and blamed medicine-induced paranoia for damage he caused to the monitor. Now, Justice Moraes on Tuesday mandated that full-time medical care be given to Bolsonaro, whose medical team has previously said he's suffering from worsening health. The Supreme Court justices said in September, when Bolsonaro was found guilty of plotting a coup, that he had known of plans to assassinate Lula and his vice presidential running mate, Geraldo Alckmin, and to arrest and execute Moraes, who had been overseeing Bolsonaro's trial. The conspiracy failed to get the backing of the Army and Air Force commanders. Lula was sworn in without incident on the 1st of January 2023. But a week later, on the 8th of January, thousands of Bolsonaro supporters stormed government buildings in Brasilia. The security forces intervened and about 1,500 people were arrested. The justice found that the rioters had been incited by Bolsonaro, whose plan, they said, was for the military to step in and return him to power. Bolsonaro, who was also barred from running for public office until 2060, 8 years after the end of his sentence. The former president called the trial a witch hunt designed to prevent him running in the 2026 presidential election. Now, Justice Moraes also ordered on Tuesday that others found guilty of being Bolsonaro's conspirators must begin their sentences. They include General Augusto Heleno, former Minister for Institutional Security, and General Paulo Sergio Nguera de Oliveira, former Defense Minister. Well. Does this serve as a deterrent to Brazilians? Well, he's going to get a small... he's got a fridge.
Yeah, he's got a fridge there. It's got a nice column. Yeah, nice bed. With yes, it's got an interesting one there. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to exactly 6 minutes past 12, and we're hoping, keeping fingers and everything crossed, that we might get our money man to join us exactly more at 12:30. But until then, we continue with the show. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. All right. Now, moving on to other parts of the world as well, as we look at the stories making the rounds today. Well, one from the Latin American area. Well, Venezuela has banned 6 major international airlines from landing in the country after they failed to meet a 48-hour deadline to resume flights there. The airline had temporarily suspended their routes into the capital Caracas after the U.S. warned of heightened military activity in the area. Angered by this, Venezuelan government issued the carriers with an ultimatum that expired on Wednesday. While a number of smaller airlines continue to fly to Venezuela, thousands of passengers have been affected. The U.S. has deployed a large force to waters of Venezuela, which it says is to combat drug trafficking, but which Venezuelan leader has denounced as an attempt to overthrow him. Now, Venezuela's Civil Aviation Authority, which reports to the country's Ministry of Transport, announced on Wednesday that Iberia, TAP, Portugal, GOL, LATAM, Avianca, and Turkish Airlines will lose their landing and take-off rights with immediate effect. In a reference to the heightened U.S. military activity off the coast of Venezuela, it also accused the airlines of joining the action of state terrorism promoted by the United States government and unilaterally suspending air commercial operation. The U.S. deployed 15,000 troops in the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, to within striking distance of Venezuela. Yeah. So do you think Trump is going to attack Venezuela at all? Well, Hugo Chavez, one of the former leaders of Venezuela, who came to power through a coup d'etat and virtually took back oil rigs and baits and all those things back to the state. Then after that, sanctions started to be placed on them, and it ended up that now Venezuela finds itself in a place where they are struggling. So we have all these airlines that were flying in there. Trump came, and because he is also trying to champion the fact that the cause where they get what they want, so they become a target. Well, are there drugs being pushed from Venezuela to the mainland, that's in the U.S., to the U.S.? Well, the United States have actually destroyed a couple of boats, which were, or they call it some submarines that were from Venezuela, apparently traveling to the U.S. So if you look at all this, or you analyze all that, do you think they have to do so? Do you think the U.S. have to go in there all gun blazing to overthrow the Venezuelan leader, who actually they've also labeled as a terrorist or somebody who is a drug kingpin in there? But what do you think about all that? Let me say massive good morning to my baby sister Delt. Hope you are doing very, very well. Nice seeing you there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's see what our money man is saying there. Let's see what our money man is saying there. Okay. Okay, just bear with us. Just bear with us. Our money man, as I said, he's a very, very busy man. And this morning he said he has to take some be in some serious meetings, and therefore will not be able to join us. But be rest assured, keeping fingers and everything crossed, God willing, next week he will come and break down. And again, he's saying I should collect all necessary questions that you have. If you have any questions pertaining to the budget that was read last Wednesday and reaction to whatever, how it's going to impact your tax, your whatever, student loan, whatever, just send them all in and we'll prepare them to get him to address it once it comes on next week. All right then. Okay, so Starr Radio UK. So that means I will bring the program to a close exactly at in the next 18 minutes. But share your take with us. Share your take with us. All right then. Let's move on. Okay, so now we move on to Europe as well. Well, Ukraine's anti-corruption agency had begun searching the apartment of President Volodymyr Zelensky's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak. One of the two agencies' anti-corruption bureau, NABU, confirmed that its investigative searches had been authorized and said further details will follow. A corruption scandal has engulfed several figures close to Zelensky, though neither he nor his right-hand man Yermak have been accused of any wrongdoing. Andriy Yermak is the president's closest aide and has had his ear throughout Russia's full-scale invasion. He also keeps a lead negotiator in peace talks with the U.S., but his position has come increasingly under threat from critics calling for him to go. Now, this is a member of a team that has done well, has worked very, very well. Okay? If I'm not even saying that they've won, no. But they managed to work in cohesion, and there is that unity, and then they seem to agree, and therefore are able to move things forward. However, people are calling for him to leave. Yermak, 54, confirmed on social media that both NABU and the Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office were conducting procedural actions at my home and had full access to his apartment with his lawyers on site. From my side, there is full cooperation, said the chief of staff, who has not been named as a suspect. The searches come at a very awkward moment for Zelensky and his closest ally, with U.S. Army Security Secretary Dan Driscoll due to arrive in Kyiv by the end of the week. As U.S. President Donald Trump pushes ahead with a draft peace plan, U.S. officials are heading to Moscow next week. One of the main sticking points for the Ukraine and Russia's demand for Ukraine to hand over the territory it still controls in the eastern Donetsk region. If they don't withdraw, will achieve this by force of arms, Vladimir Putin said on Thursday. So they want the places like Donetsk. There are some portions of Donetsk that Ukraine controls, and they said that if you don't go, then we will take it by force. So I'm asking the question. That's why I was asking that question. That if it happens that let's say the U.S. invades Venezuela, okay, and they go there and they say, okay, we're taking over this particular. What would we say about that? Is it okay? Is it acceptable? And let's again this way again. When Israel, after the Gaza, after the Israeli, what do you call them? What do they call their name? What's their name again? Their name has a little. Hamas invaded Israel and took captives and all those things, and the Israeli war with Gaza or the Palestinians or Hamas started, and now they've taken territories, and they said, you know what? We're not giving that to you. We're taking it. What law in the world will be able to protect the people? Or as we say, in the animal kingdom, are some animals more equal than others? What do you think? It's quite an interesting one there, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. So, what do you think should be done? But he who goes to equity must go with a clean hand. So we'll all be watching closely what the outcome of this investigation will be there. Starr Radio UK. But again, President Putin has doubled down on his core demands for ending the war in Ukraine, saying Russia will lay down arms only if Kyiv's troops withdraw from territory claimed by Moscow. Putin has long pushed for legal recognition of the Ukrainian territories Russia has seized by force. They include the southern Crimean Peninsula annexed in 2014 and the eastern Donbas region, which Moscow now occupies for the most part. For Kyiv, which has ruled out relinquishing the parts of Donbas, it still holds rewarding Russia for its aggression is a non-starter. Now, speaking after Putin's address, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russia scorned efforts to truly end the war. Speaking to the reporters during a trip to Kyrgyzstan, Putin accused Kyiv of wanting to fight to the last Ukrainian, which he said Russia was in principle also ready to do so. So, is it that they want Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Crimea taking over that? And what percentage of land have they taken from Ukraine then? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Alright, still in Europe, before we venture to Africa, a quick one from there. France has agreed to start intercepting small boats in the channel following months of pressure from the UK. The change in policy comes after Prime Minister Keir Starmer wrote to the President Emmanuel Macron urging him to back the plan and saying we currently have no effective deterrent in the channel, according to a report in Le Monde. Now, French security forces will be allowed to stop the small boats at sea, but only before they've picked up their passengers. The Maritime Police Force has confirmed that French police have rarely intervened to stop the overcrowding boats leaving the coastline because it is considered too great a risk to both officers and civilians. Le Monde reported Sir Keir Starmer as reading, "It is essential that we deploy these tactics this month. We have no effective deterrent in the channel." Now, a French Maritime Police spokesperson says officers will start intervening at sea with the aim of safeguarding human life. Notably, the spokesperson ruled out the use of net to intercept boats, which Le Monde has previously reported could be used to snarl the propellers of the boats. So what are they going to do? Puncture the boats? Where would they be? After people have gotten on board the boat? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We've got 10 minutes to go, so now we need to quickly just get on with it. Okay. On the African front, and let me take this opportunity to say good morning, good afternoon to Eben and Antonio and all of you there in South Africa as well. One of the South Africa's men trapped in Ukraine's war-torn Donbas region after being allegedly recruited to fight for Russia has recounted the horrors they have been subjected to, saying, "Things you see in the movies, we're seeing it live." In desperate voice note to his family, the 40-year-old says he's part of a group of South Africans tricked into fighting in the war and is desperate to return home. BBC is withholding the identity of this his safety and has called him Zaifo and his brother, who is in South Africa trying to help secure his return, Zolani. He is living in fear because he doesn't know what the future holds or what will happen to him when night approaches, because they are always in the war zone, says Zolani. Zaifo sent to his family advice note in which he says he was recruited by two people, one of them being Duduzile Zuma Zambodla, and the daughter of Jacob Zuma, the former president, who now leads the country's main opposition party in Koto Wesiswe. Now that's the alleged recruiters, even bought us flight tickets to get there. Saivo says in one of the voice notes, Zuma Zambodlea has denied intentionally misleading anyone and says she is profoundly shocked, adding that she herself is a victim of deception and manipulation. So did they say there was a job availability and that they are enrolling, and they got people to be enrolled, and they say, oh, you get there's a job for you, as has been sold to lots of people, and they got there and pashu. What happened? They find themselves in the battlefront, in the thick of things, and what can they do about that? Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. A couple of days after a coup d'etat has happened, Guinea-Bissau deposed President Umaru Sissoko Embalo has arrived in neighboring Senegal following his release by the military force who toppled his government this week. Senegal's authorities have announced it follows negotiations by the regional West African bloc ECOWAS to secure his transfer amid rising tensions in Guinea-Bissau. Senegal's foreign ministry said in a statement that Embalo had landed in the country safe and sound on a chartered military flight late on Thursday. The military in Guinea-Bissau has already sworn in a new transitional leader, General Huta Ntam, who will rule the coup-prone country for a year. The Wednesday coup came a day before authorities were due to announce the provisional results for presidential and parliamentary election. The military has suspended the electoral process and blocked the release of the results. It said it was acting to thwart a plot by unnamed politicians who had support of a well-known drug baron to destabilize the country and impose a nighttime curfew. When asked about Embalo's physical health, said on Friday, Sierra Leone's First Minister Timothy Musa Kaba declined to comment, but said priority was ensuring his safe evacuation from Guinea-Bissau. According to Kaba, Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio, the current ECOWAS chair, had contacted the Guinea-Bissau military on Wednesday to secure assurances for Embalo's protection. And so while he has been released to Sierra Leone. Okay, let's move on. We're going to be virtually tilting towards the end of the program, and let me go on to bring you that. President Bola Tinubu has approved the constitution of the Nigerian side of the U.S.-Nigeria Joint Working Group as part of steps to deepen collaboration in tackling security challenges in the country. The composition of the Joint Working Group was part of the agreement reached during the recent trip to Washington, D.C. by a high-level Nigerian delegation led by National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu. Now, Ribadu is to lead the Nigerian side of the Joint Working Group, supported by a multi-stakeholders team comprising senior officials from relevant government establishment. Now, members of the Joint Working Group include the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama, Tuga, Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, Minister of Interior, Honorable Olubumi Tunji Ojo, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Dr. Bernard M. Doro, Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oloyede, Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Mohammed, and the Inspector General of the Nigerian Police Force, Mr. Kayode Egbetukon. Now, President Tinubu has urged members of the Joint Working Group to work assiduously with the U.S. counterpart to ensure smooth operationalization of all agreements across sector. So, are they of the view that what Trump was saying was true and therefore there's a need for them to work at it? Are they? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. We're running the program to a close in a moment. Well, information coming through also said that, well, ECOWAS, West African Regional Bloc, has suspended Guinea-Bissau membership of hours after an army general was sworn in as this country's president. The decision was reached at a virtual session of ECOWAS Mediation and Security Council chaired by Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio Thursday night. The meeting included leaders from Cape Verde, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, Senegal, and Benin, among others. It condemned the army takeover as an illegal abortion of the democratic process seeking to subvert popular will. The coup happened as Guinea-Bissau counted votes after high-stakes presidential election. Well, they're giving a dog a bad name. They're giving the reason for that action that they've taken. But what do you think about it all there? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, and we're venturing into Ghana, as I said. The state funeral of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, Ghana's longest-serving First Lady and wife of the first President of the Fourth Republic, the late Jerry John Rawlings, is being held today, Friday, November 28, 2025. The ceremony is scheduled began at 8 a.m. A solemn requiem mass was earlier held on Wednesday, November 26 at the Accra Ridge Church, where prayers and tributes highlighted the profound mark she left on the nation. Her family has expressed gratitude to Ghanaians for the unwavering support shown since her passing on Thursday, October 23, 2025. Nana Konadu, founder of the 31st December Women's Movement, is widely remembered as a transformative figure whose strength, activism, relentlessness, advocacy for women, empowerment reshaped national development. Tributes have described her as a true national treasure, an indomitable spirit, and a beacon of women's empowerment. Now, among them was a message from Madame Simone Giga, ambassador of Switzerland to Ghana, who praised her determination and dedication to women's rights. Born on November 17, 1948 in Cape Coast to J.O.T. Agyeman and Felicia Agyeman, both of blessed memory, the Shanti Royal was raised in an environment of discipline, ambition, and leadership. She attended Achimota school before pursuing a degree in arts with a specialization in textile design at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, where she served as Deputy SRC Secretary and later SRC Secretary, and took on roles within the National Union of Ghana Students. Academic achievements include a diploma in interior design from London College of Arts, a diploma in advanced personnel management from the Management of Development and Productivity Institute, a certificate of development from JIMPA, and a senior fellow diploma in policy studies on non-profit sector economic development from Johns Hopkins University. Between 1978 and 1980, she worked with the Union Trading Company, that's UTC, back in the day in Accra, and later with Nanali Artifacts from 1980 to 1984. It was during this period that she founded the 31st December Women's Movement. She became instrumental in advancing the socio-economic empowerment of women nationwide. In 1977, she married Jerry John Rawlings, the then Air Force officer who later served as head of state and president. Their marriage was blessed with 4 children: Zenator, Yawa, Asantua, Amina, and Kimathi, and became a partnership that significantly shaped Ghana's political history and progress on gender. And we will say here on this platform, may her soul rest in perfect peace. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where
I bring the program to a close for today. It's been a pleasure coming your way. And I will say it this way: have yourself a wonderful weekend. And yeah, those of you preparing for the Christmas or all the decorations and all that stuff, yeah, you can get on with it. We'll come Monday. Monday is the 1st of December, and you want to start the Christmas in earnest. Okay. So we'll see what we do. All right, and until I come your way on Monday with another edition of the morning show, it's been me, your one and only Archie, saying, "Pash, have a top of the day." Until I see you on Monday, I'm out like that. Bye bye.
Call the studio now.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Thanks for listening.